consistently competing at the top of the Big Ten. What are the challenges of maintaining, keeping that, and even trying to push it even further?
Well, you just said it. Never letting status quo be the norm. I think I'm very blessed. Got an athletic director. We've got a chancellor who have allowed us to keep moving the needle. I'm always a guy that's got the accelerator down. I'm always looking for the next thing that could be an advantage. I'm looking for something that kind of just keeps the needle moving in the right direction, keeps the train headed moving down the tracks, and I fight status quo daily. I don't want to be that. In a league where great coaches, great players, everybody's got things and stuff, I've got a great staff, and try to keep fresh ideas, try to keep learning. I think all those things, and we're excited. We won more games than anybody in the Big Ten last 4 years, and now how do we make that 5, and how do we make that 6, and yet keep stressing winning with our players, keep trying to recruit high character guys, and I think those things are all have to go in the basket to be successful and to keep moving it forward.
Yeah, you've had multiple iterations of this team now. Like, how do you keep that consistent identity? Like, what do you want that to be? Because obviously, Io leaves, that's hard.
Yeah.
Trent leaves, that's hard.
Yeah, and I think it's, there's no doubt we took a different step when we lost each one of those guys. We lost guys that have been in the program for 5 years, and in Io's case 3, and Andres Felice, and all of those guys impacted it in special ways and in their own way. And yet it's to me, it's the character. I think the one thing we've tried to stay very consistent with is team first. This is this year's Illinois team. This is their version. It's not the one a year ago, 2 years ago, trying to establish our own identity, but understand what the main purpose is. And we talk about winning a lot, and we focus on winning. And we've tried to hire staff that understands that. We've gone out and tried to recruit players that come from winning programs. And involved in that is character, and it takes character to win. And all these guys, from our walk-ons to Coleman, who's a 4th-year senior, all these guys have had success and are very important pieces to what we're doing.
So there's so much focus outside about NCAA tournament success. How much of your focus is it?
None. I can't control that. Everybody thinks hey, we were a 1 seed. We had a bad day. You know what? It's pretty hard to be a 1 seed. You know what? We've won 2 Big Ten championships. You know what? It's pretty hard to do that over a 20-game conference season. You do what you do every day. I keep it that simple, to try to get better. I know you have to keep getting there. Our time's coming. A little bit of luck involved. It's not a series. It's a 1-game shot, and we chose a bad time to have a couple bad games. I thought last year Arkansas was better than us. I thought they deserved to win. But we've got to just keep doing our job, keep getting there, and Final Four is not very far away. I truly believe that, and we've been very good, peaking at the right time, and for whatever reason, just had a bad day.
So from the 7th season, what makes you think this team can keep that standard or elevate that standard that you have?
Oh, I love the maturity of this team. I love the depth of this team. I think that there's a lot of very cohesive pieces that fit. What it all looks like yet, I think we're still working on. I think that the depth will play into a lot of that. I think that seeing Marcus in a live situation, which we didn't get to see in Spain, will help facilitate a few things. But I think that we'll do things better than we have in the last year or two in terms of not making mistakes and execution. I think this team's got great toughness, and that's something that usually correlates to winning.
Coach, you have some nice defensive pieces on the team. Can you talk about how good you all can be defensively in the big team?
Yeah, we got a chance to be elite. We got a chance to be really good. I think it starts. We have positional size. We can be a very physical team. We've got great bodies, guys with strength. You've got a guy in Ty who can guard multiple positions. Coleman, multiple positions. Terrence Shannon, multiple positions. Quincy's 235 pounds and strong and athletic, and Justin comes in as just a tough nut. I mean, he's a tough hombre and can guard on the ball, and so I think there's Luke has proven to be a very good position defender, and so I think there's a lot of pieces, and now it's just about eliminating mistakes. And last year we had too many mistakes being made on a very consistent basis, and we fell to 35th, I think, in DER. That's as low as we've been. To be where we want to go, we got to be a top 15, top 10 team on that end.
What are you looking for your team in these exhibition games, Coach?
I think every exhibition game takes on its own identity. I think we're a few weeks away yet from knowing what will, the Ottawa game, I'm sure will just be experience, looking for some flow. It'll be getting the nerves out, playing in front of the crowd. And then obviously you probably, had the #1 team in the country coming in Kansas, with tremendous experience, great athleticism. Bill's always got that group ready to go. So you're going to get a different look in that game than we will in the Ottawa game. But again, it's always about just getting better and finding out a little more about yourself, and that's what we take from those games. Tweak things how we have to tweak them to continue to take the next step forward. And we've got a brutal, very, very tough non-league schedule, so they're going to give us great tests, and I'm excited about that.
Tell me if I'm reading this wrong, Coleman. Did he need to hear some NBA feedback similar to what you've been telling him for 3 years, just to know, okay, Coach might know what the hell he's talking about?
Probably. We haven't had per se that discussion. I think it's been more about he's gotten the experience. He has seen what that looks like. I think there's Coleman's very, very observant. He's very cerebral, and I think that he's got a really good ability to self-evaluate. And then I think I think one of the big things with Coleman is comfort. I think he feels comfortable with this group, and that he doesn't have to facilitate all the time or make a play. He can fall a little more into his comfort zone, and I think those are all things that I think he learned through that whole process.
To his own credit, last year he admitted to us, "I don't know how to lead this team right now. Like I don't know how to do it." Obviously that was evident last year, but has that kind of changed with the new group this year? Or are you not asking him maybe to do that?
No, we need him. He's been with me 4 years. Yeah. He knows he knows what sock I put on first. He knows just about everything there is to know about the ins and outs of this program, and it was. We never established a hierarchy of leadership last year. I think there was so much newness, and I'm really proud of what last year's team did.
Sure,
we had a great year,
right?
But so much youth. Terrence was new, Matt was new. Coleman's really coming off a sophomore year, which was a little up and down, so he's not as confident or maybe secure. And then you lose 95% of your scoring. And so it was just a matter of how does this going to work? And we had some great wins. We beat UCLA early. We went and beat Texas, and the practices leading up to Texas, we weren't very good. I saw it coming. That manifested itself out in the Penn State game, the next game. And so now you're you've got a false sense of reality because you won a couple of games, but we weren't getting better. And that's where those challenges became very evident in terms of our leadership. And it was hard. And everybody was looking for their own identity. And this group this year has a lot of the similar way of thinking about things. And there's a maturity about it and an understanding. They came here because they want to win. They want to do something big. How that manifests itself out, we'll see. But it's much easier. It's much easier. There's a lot of really common things going on in terms of way that everybody's thinking. It's about us.
I guess along those lines, like you mentioned yesterday, the standard did you expect that going? Like, you've been around these guys. Did you expect kind of that collective, everybody stands up, or were you taken a bit off guard by that?
Well, I was taken off guard, but the one thing I felt like I had to do something a little bit different, this has to be their team. And I've said many times, if I have to lead, we're in trouble from the on the court stuff. This team has got a maturity. They're in age and experience. So let me think about how to do something a little bit different, and then let me help guide them when they get off center. Their goals, their ideas, their standards, and that's what this team wants to be. It's my job to help kind of rein them in if they get away from that and say, hey, this is what you talked about, not me. And so I think there's a big difference there. And these guys have lived a lot in terms of basketball experience, so I feel like I could do that with this group.
I got a question about the Spain trip. Being on the sideline, how much do you learn not having to coach the actual game and getting to watch them play in that situation?
Yeah, it's a different perspective because you don't think about the next play. I was very simple in terms of my approach over there. I wanted to see us run. I wanted to see us offensive rebound. I wanted to see us execute. I wanted to see us. We spent a ton of time on ball screen defense, and I wanted to see how we handled that against European teams who that's what they do. So I was really focused on that. I didn't, we went back and we watched film and we watched how we screened and how we did all those little things, but it was more about what I want our base things to be, what I want our foundation to be, what I want our every day. If you face us, well, you better get back because they're going to run, they're going to try scoring, and you better block them out because we're going to go to the offensive glass, and reestablishing some of those things. So that's kind of my approach. I didn't have to worry about calling a play or substitutions, and it was great for our staff to be able to.
You learn more, maybe about each individual guy?
Yeah, I paid attention more to. I paid less attention to winning, and more attention to how guys played together, what lineups worked. I've got a notepad full of notes, but it's just a different. Now we coach to win. And over there I was coaching to learn a little more about scenarios and situations than I was, winning that actual game.
With Nico, he comes over, he said it's like going to a new planet last year. How do you coach him through that? Like the difficulties of doing something he's done for his whole life. Like, how do you navigate that?
I can't explain how hard that is because I've never done it. But I can't imagine just spending 10 days in Spain. It's unique. It's different. It's a different way of living. And to come over here and just get hit in the face with everything, get it thrown at you. I have tremendous admiration for his willingness, his ability to change. He's a great listener. Now we're starting to see the comfort of, okay, I've got Adam Fletcher's my strength coach. I've got a nutritionist. I've got a coach who's going to ask this of me. And now we're starting to see that be comfortable. Now he's acclimated to, having some expectation on him because there was none last year. Just get stronger and help lead our practice team or practice squad, and you know, then we got with coaches and did individual workouts. But I couldn't. I don't know if I could do what he's done, and yet he's handled that